Tape marker, action. What is going on, everybody? What is up? Today's Friday. The blizzard, the storm, the winter, that winter storm, the long winter night is over, guys. It is over. What's going on, guys? I'm Ryan D, aka Ryan 680 from Alamo City Movie Talk, and I got special guests here.
Steady from the Countdown City Cast. What's going on, man?
What's up, dude? How you been? How you doing over there?
Much better. Heater's finally back on. There's finally power in the house.
Brother.
Water is a little iffy right now, but hey, I can't complain with getting like 2/3 of our basic necessities right now. So doing much better, man. Thanks.
For real. Lex, what's going on over there, man?
Hey guys, doing great. Thankfully, like we said, the roads are looking safer, and then people are starting to get their power and water back up and running. So definitely keeping everyone in mind in my thoughts and prayers as far as like people that were truly affected, because I know it's hard. But yeah, I'm blessed to be here and excited to continue to enjoy the daily things that we do. Right, like power and electricity is such a big thing in a society that's very connected through media, and a lot of our forms of enjoyment are things like tuning in into streaming services, and us to have a platform to talk about it. It all happens through tech and power, so we definitely take it for granted. But I think it's also now is the time to reflect on those things, and how we can use these things for the better.
For sure, man. It really shows an eye opener of how much we really rely on electricity and water. Like, dude, like, yes. If it wasn't electricity, everyone had a problem, of course, beginning of this week. And then, towards the end, it was just water. And then just like, really, like, what if anything couldn't get any worse, then we got the water news, it just questioned the whole of, the basic needs in human life, not even American life, but in human life, that we need. And it just really questioned everything. And hopefully, thankfully, everyone's good with your families and everything. Thankfully, everyone's warm now, finally, and all that stuff. But let's get right to it, guys. This is Wandavision episode. I know we've been talking about this episode for a while. We've been mentioning little hints here and there. We've been shedding our theories, really breaking down the previous episodes we've done here with Ted. Some things we were right about. I'm going to say that. We'll go talk about spoilers at the end, but let's get right to it. I mean, season 1, episode 7, breaking the fourth wall.
Oh yeah,
man, what about that? Like, dude,
yeah. So, it's funny because they did it last episode, last episode they started doing that, but for sure this one they doubled down.
Yeah, Ted, give us your thoughts on this episode, man. Like, well, what was your guess expectations going into this, and then did it meet your expectations coming out of this? And then we'll start with Steady, and then we'll go down to Lex, man. What was your expectations into this, man?
We knew it was going to be a banger because you had so many plot lines that were seemingly coming to the end or the big reveals. You had Monica, who was supposed to meet her guy on the ridge, the aerospace engineer that she had talked about like 2 episodes ago. Like, that had to happen already.
Yeah.
We had the Hex from last episode going critical, taking out most of the SWORD agents. There's just so many things that were sort of getting pushed to the brink. Vision in the Halloween episode was already so suspicious about Wanda that he decided to lie to her, get out of trick-or-treating, start investigating the neighborhood, and then we saw him attempt to breach the Hex and then not go very well. So we knew this episode had to tie up a lot of things. It was exciting. All the reveals were pretty good. And I'll probably talk about more about spoilers later on. But yeah, liked it, enjoyed it, loved it.
I know we know Vision, obviously, before this series. Of course we do. That's no brainer. But I know this is weird to say, guys. I know this is totally weird to say, but I feel like we're getting a character out of Vision, per se, if that's so to speak. Like, almost to where that he's fully understanding exactly where he's at. Like, he's trying to really figure out everything. As far as like, Wanda, the beginning of this series, Wanda had him like on a screenplay, so to speak, or on I say like on a scripted play. I felt like, you know, for him, and to know that, to see him coming from episode 1 all the way to episode 7 right now, it's truly remarkable to see what character he's really becoming. And we see that a lot because we see not just the Marvel movies, but we see him progress from a sitcom, you know, into a scripted, you know, on point as far as just naming just a regular how you say it, again, just it felt like it was forced written on him, but not to say like on the writers or anything. It's just more like WandaVision controlling him and telling, you know, into a sense to where, like, because I mean he didn't question everything until later in the few episodes. Of course, you know, he was just happy with what he got. But we all know this, you know, when you create something, you know, they always want more than what they have. You know, we know this from different scenarios and different universes and all that. But I mean, yeah, dude, I'm. You know, I agree with you, Ted. Like, I just my expectations for this was very I wouldn't say very high, but I'm not gonna say very low either. I would say it's like medium, and they were met very, very so. And yeah, and this is coming from, like, you know, the critique version of myself, you know, because I'm very picky when it comes to comedies and when it comes to all that stuff. But this episode was damn good. Like, I loved it so much just because it really showed the creativity that they had, the creativity risks that they were going to take. You know, I know me and Lex talk about it nonstop. You know, I use that word risk a lot because Marvel took a risk for this series, for making it the first series and for making it to be so different than the regular Marvel's properties than they're used to, because this was a huge game changer as far as drama sitcom. You know, it really touches the base on every decade, you know, which is the first for I would say for any show or anyone to really knock out all the decades in one season, you know, and that's crazy. You know, we see Wanda really struggle in this episode, really struggle with her powers and really struggle with the reality, or what sort of reality does she really create, you know, in a sense in that. But we'll talk spoilers and everything. Lex, what's your expectations, man?
Yeah, I came in with high expectations for sure. I think, once again, I said on the last episode, but from here, like, there's no slowing down. I think a lot happened on this episode for sure, especially towards the end. A lot happened. I think I had higher expectations though. But I don't feel cheated out because we still have 2 episodes left. So I don't think I was cheated out. And it by no means was a slow episode. But once again, I thought that three episodes left, we'd be left with longer episodes. This one was quite short. And I think it's just the fact that it leaves me wanting more still, of course. That I feel this way, but once again, I don't feel that I was cheated out. I just felt like my expectations were really high, and we were given a good, solid episode. But for me, once again, it was just it caught up a little bit under that, which makes me excited for what's left, because probably, especially the way this episode ended, like, I'm quite sure that from here and on, no breaks. It's just gonna go full on, and I don't even think, based on the trailers that we've seen for the show, I think they've run out of the content that they showed us on trailers and previews and stuff. I know Disney has been dropping a teaser trailer for every episode now, which is weird because they never did that with Mandalorian. But the point that I'm trying to make is that all of the content they've shown, because once again, I knew that there was going to be a Modern Family thing for quite some time, like the format that they used, because of those trailers kind of just showing you a clip of everything. I think they're fully done with that footage. So the last 2 episodes, I don't think we've seen anything from it. And so that is super exciting.
Yes, agreed there, man. And to see that environment, because we actually got to see, because the very last clip of last episode was, you know, the circus, and we got to see that. We got to see more in depth on that. It wasn't too deep as I wanted it to be, because I mean, I didn't want it to be too deep. That was the whole point. I was all like, okay, the circus is now here. I don't want it to be like this whole deep connection in there, because that's just, I mean, I don't want to say that was randomly put there by Wanda, but it was just something random. I don't want more of that. I want to see more Vision questioning everything, you know, and that's what we got in this episode. And also we got Darcy, really to see Darcy actually come out in this. You know, dude, I'm loving her character more and more. The more I see her in this series, the more I wish she was in the Next Door movie, because right now she's not what do you call it? She's not oh my gosh, I'm losing my train of thought right now. She's not like script, or she's not written in to be in the Next Door movie. Yeah, she's not locked in there, which is surprisingly, I'm very surprised at that. You know, I'm surprised that we're getting Jane and we're not getting her with Jane. You know, I mean, and the
is something happening to her in WandaVision then?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Yeah,
it is weird. Although depending on where Jane is at in her life, perhaps they're just not in touch anymore. That'd be sad, especially once again, a lot of people are really like people that perhaps didn't like the Thor movies in general, at least the ones where she was in, which is the first two. Perhaps those people that didn't really care for the first two Thor movies now are knowing to love this character. So it's a missed opportunity if she's all fine after whatever happens in WandaVision and they still don't use her, because I feel like, you know, as a friend of Jane, like she would probably be a valuable asset to the cast. Yeah, it's interesting. I did not know that she wouldn't be. If anything, once again, I was excited for her to appear again in another property. But you know, I think so far it's been rumors. I don't think it's been confirmed, nor is it a legit report. But if Disney, based on what fans are saying, if they decide to do a Jimmy Woo and Darcy Lewis spinoff, like I'm definitely interested in that for sure. I know a lot of fans are calling for that.
Yeah, you know, I've been seeing stuff like that, and also saw as well that we'll mention in spoilers, but they weren't too happy to see, I guess, who the scientist really was. You know, the aerospace
engineer,
which, you know, I mean, I guess we could just, I mean, it's not Reed Richards, which I really wanted it to be. I mean,
I'll say something in the spoiler thing, just because I have some questions about that whole thing.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and get right into Lex. What's your rating on this? And then Teddy, do you ratings per episode?
Not for TV shows, but you know, we just discussed the hell out of them, break them down bit by bit. But yeah, let's do ratings. Okay,
cool. I guess Lex, what's your rating for this episode, brother?
For me, this one's an 8 for me.
Dang, I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna be 8 as well. That's the highest, one of the highest episodes I've ever given it. I would say in my critique.
Haven't you given 8.5 or?
I think I have. I think you're right. I can't remember which one. We gotta go back. You gotta go back.
It's still one of your highest for sure, I think.
Yeah. For sure. I'm very picky. I know Teddy's looking at me like, what the heck, this guy?
Very picky. Very picky. I know this guy.
Ted, what's your rating, brother?
I'm gonna give it a 9. It's a lot of plot points. It's a lot of storylines converging all in one episode. And Marvel, they did their homework, man. You don't have a great payoff at the end of this episode unless you take 6 other episodes before it and lay the groundwork, and you're seeing those little breadcrumbs and those hints and those misdirections, because there were a crap load of them. If you missed them, they tried to take you off the scent, off the pathway so much. There was a lot of work involved in building to this reveal, and the payoff is in this episode. This is probably going to be one of the better episodes of the season. Probably the final episode is probably going to also be somewhere around a 9 or a 10 for me. But Marvel, they're flexing. This is them showing off.
Yeah.
This is them being bold. This is their ideas coming together, and you got a huge chunk of it in episode 7. I still think there's at least one more big or semi-big reveal coming up. I'm not going to pretend to know what that is, but
I feel it, man. I feel it's coming, brother.
You got another 9 rating coming pretty soon.
See, and that's the thing too. So like if it's the big twist, and I think it is, we'll mention the spoilers right now, but if it's the big twist, that's going to make it a 9 for me. So I mean, I haven't reached that level yet. I haven't reached that, but that entertainment level, I would say. But yeah, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to see. But yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 So all right, guys. So we're gonna mention spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. Spoilers. If you have not seen it yet, because it did come out today, haven't had a chance to see it, check out our other videos, guys, on Alamo City Movie Talk on our YouTube channel. Be sure to check us out. And also check out Countdown City Geekcast as well. And the Lex Level on his Twitch channel. So let's get right to it, guys. Spoilers. Let's go. Spoilers. Okay. The Mighty Monica, man. Holy crap. Dude, like, wow. I was very entertained at that point, in that moment where she's actually going through that portal. Or she's going through, not portal, like going through the hex right there. Hey, did y'all notice that I could have sworn I heard whenever she was going through it, the different voices she was hearing, was that Captain Marvel as well?
Yeah, it was Carol having a discussion with not only her mother, but also having a discussion with her as a child as well.
Right? Okay. So it was, yeah. Okay, so it was Captain Marvel in there. And when she was going through the hex and everything, she was, I loved how great special effects were for that sequence right there. Even right when she was taking that, I like how Jimmy Will was just like, oh, I thought I was supposed to slip right in. like dude, that was wow, that was crazy.
Yeah,
seeing that, yeah,
that was a lot of fun. I need to rewatch it again just to see exactly which lines. I think from my recollection, most is a recap from things that were said in Captain Marvel. I think there was like 1 or 2 new lines in there though. As far as conversations that we didn't have or hear in the original Captain Marvel movie. So it may be a plot point. They still haven't explained what happened with Monica in Captain Marvel, as she did seem to want to avoid talking about her. I hope that comes into play. I know there's only 2 episodes left, but I hope it does, because Monica is a character that we're invested in as much as anyone else. Of course, I know it's a show about Wanda and Vision, but yeah, like I've said before, like Marvel has done a really good job at making us care about all these characters.
For real.
And so, but yeah, so it's super exciting to kind of see this as her origin story. As people know, in the comic books, she does have superpower abilities through a different origin story. I think this, I don't know if this one matches any of the comic books. Maybe it pays tribute to some, but I think it's a good organic way to explain how she gets powers, though.
For real. I didn't feel like it was forced at all, because I mean we knew somewhat of a sense to where like she was gonna get powers, but it needed to not be forced. I'm agree with Lex. Like it felt very organic. To absorb kinetic energy, I mean that's pretty that's pretty crazy right there. And to see her really, and we saw that too. Right when she went into the hex, we saw how she saw the electro, even her eyes glowed blue, and then also the electricity that she saw, electricity poles and everything. That's pretty much how the sum of her power is. To see that and everything, it was really good, really detailed in there. And I mean, to Marvel, which is really bring us Marvel Studios to really just bring us a character that was a kid at first in Captain Marvel and really progress, huge character development, huge growth, obviously from years later. And to make us care about that person is truly phenomenal. Like, hey, there's this little girl that was in Captain Marvel. Oh, she's way more important down the line. Who would have thought that? Not me. I wouldn't have thought that at all. Like, come on. Good job on Marvel for us to really care, for us to really make us care about this character so much. And I think everyone's really fallen in love with her and just her struggles and everything, just to really see Wanda as not a villain, just to see her as, I don't want to say trapped, but to see her, really just try to save her, and she really believes in Wanda, and that's the thing, and we see that a lot in this episode, which is she's just really trying to save her. So the circus. So what y'all think of the Vision and Darcy? The car drive, I guess that was kind of funny.
It's fun. Darcy's a entertaining character. Everybody loves her sassiness, her sarcasm, and Paul Bettany's just been an absolute boss this entire season. He's been asked to do so many different things, play so many different roles. The comedy. I love Drunk Vision early on in the season. So them kind of the banter between one another, it's just pure entertainment. It's a lot of fun, and to put it in the situation that they were in, being sort of diverted from heading back home by different random occurrences is just hilarious. It's all fun. It's just pure entertainment, man.
Yeah, we see also Wanda have a huge breakdown at the beginning of this episode, and we see her really just have a mental breakdown into a sense to where she's one hair away from just breaking, like destroying everything. It almost looks like she wants to destroy everything, and she just needs a break. And we see that Agnes comes in at the nick of time, and just takes the kids away, and just and just really helps relieve that stress that she's really having. And you could tell it looks like she's having even when the interview camera and all that stuff was really good. I thought that was pretty funny how her interview was going, and how just really how she was feeling in that very moment, almost turning into like you guys said already, the Office themed, almost looked like a reality show theme, just like almost like the challenge, right, Ted? Like almost like you're saying your input of what's going on, and and just you're so emotional in that feeling and in that moment. And
this episode, we really saw Wanda deal with the stress and everything that's happening. Her trying to keep this world together has not worked out, and things including the stress of it and perhaps the grief that she's been hiding this whole time is starting to catch up to her. And that's a very human thing, which is why I think this decade and this format of like Modern Family and things like that, it's perfect for that setting, that breaking point, because it's starting to look more and more like reality for us, the audience. It's starting to look more like the real thing, the real daily lifestyle. And for example, like the struggle that parents go through, right? Like sometimes they need a little bit of me time. I myself am not a parent, but I do know that there comes a point in time where you want that, and people deserve that. And if you don't get that, you start draining mentally. And I think part of that is what was causing those glitches into this reality that Wanda has created, or at least that's what the show's showing us, created, at least has some sort of control. She's kind of losing grip to that. And once again, I think once again, the show's addressing those problems. And I really like Monica, with or without powers, has had that heroism about her in wanting to save Wanda, as well as like trying to relate to her by telling her like, hey, I lost someone really important to me, which we've seen how that went about, and how much of an impact that was. Like Monica trying to tell her like, hey, I have to let go of those feelings, and I have to accept them as part of who I am. And to a degree, Wanda wanted to listen, but of course we now see that there's a little bit more strings being pulled on as far as to what we've been seeing across the show.
For sure, man. Also, we got a little insight into what Sword was really looking into. It looks like Hayward was really trying to put Vision into a weapon, which we were right about that. That's funny because I know we mentioned it. We all agreed that what Vision wanted to, they were thinking of putting Vision into a weapon. So we were right about that. So I guess Wanda's really not the villain that they really sought her out to be. Because, granted, she brought him to life for her own personal gain or for own personal reasons, but they were really turning her into a weapon, And so, like, I don't know. What's up?
Sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, just to that point, I'm still kind of, because Wanda still doesn't seem to remember exactly how she got here, right?
Yeah.
So she just remembers feeling alone and all of this stuff. But I'm still on the camp that, like, I'm thinking Wanda might have stolen Vision knowing that they were trying to turn him into a weapon. So like, if that's the case, that would kind of come into full circle as far as like, hey, Wanda loves Vision, but perhaps she's not the selfish person that the show has tried to portray, right? I think that would show a lot of growth on Wanda's part. Like, yes, she's made mistakes as to how she's handled it moving forward. I think once she got a taste of that family back, or having that love back, for sure, you get drunk on that. But it would be kind of cool if once her memories come together, once they explain how it all started, it'd be super awesome to show that Wanda had actually grown at that point, and perhaps she was trying to, just save Vision from being weaponized. And then it turned into like, oh, I can revive him. Oh, I can do this. Or like, I think that would be a really interesting point. and you know, it would further demonize the government organization that was just trying to weaponize like against his will. So I think either way, I think there's growth to be had on Wanda's part, and there's things to like where we have evidence now that they were just trying to frame Wanda, especially her being the key subject to the Sokovia Accords and all of that. Like I think she's the perfect person to kind of frame in that standpoint, which is why they did it. But once again, I think there's room for the story to kind of come full circle and show us that Wanda's not who we thought it was. It was just bad influence, being drunk on power, and like we said, we now have a little bit of a reveal as to Wanda not being the only player.
Yeah. Before we get into that, let's talk about the commercial real quick. The Nexus commercial, dude, that was a pretty good commercial. I like that commercial a lot. I love it. I loved how it just really was a hitter for this one. I felt like, you know, it really set the mode for what Wanda was really feeling, you know, and I love it too, because Nexus, of course, we know it from, you know, the from Age of Ultron. I think that's what it was. I think Nexus was the internet hub. There you go, the internet hub, to where Tony Stark went into the remember he mentioned needle in the haystack, where he's searching for who's mixing the codes or whatever, because Ultron's trying to like release the bombs, I guess the nukes, and so he finds out that's Jarvis, and and then, you know, of course we know the whole story of that, but you know, Nexus comes into that internet hub, so it just almost to a sense to where like it's all connected. You know, we saw that previous ones, you know, for a second there, I thought, because they kept saying reality, I thought it was referring to the Reality Stone, because it kept saying reality. It said reality at least two to three times. I noticed that, and I was all like, alter your reality with these antidepressants, and it's just like what? Like, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's Nexus, you know, and then you know, it's just one of those things to where like, is it technically trying to mention both of them? I mean, I don't know. It just, we look to, I don't know if I could be looking way deeper than what it really is. But obviously we were misdirected. I know Ted's he really mentioned that a lot in the first episode you were on here, the misdirection. You kept mentioning that a lot, like Marvel's misdirecting us. They misdirect, and so obviously that did happen. With, of course, the grand finale that we saw out of here was it's Agnes all along. Like, it's just
great song, by the way. It's very catchy. I haven't gotten out of my head like all freaking day. Real quick, going back to Nexus, in the comics, it refers to sort of like a multi-dimensional gateway.
Oh, there you go. Multiverse.
Exactly. Yeah. So it kind of makes you wonder now if they're going to try and come at us with Agnes is not of this universe. Yeah, she's from like an alternate one. And that would be a fantastic way of explaining away Wanda's brother's appearance, because if you didn't get his appearance right in this dimension or this universe, it's because you're not familiar with the way he looks in this one. Still not saying he's that X-Men character, but he looks like that X-Men character. And the mistaken identity is probably because this is Agnes is doing, and she has no idea what Wanda's brother looks like in the MCU Prime or the MCU universe, or just the MCU. So that could be a great way of explaining that. I don't know if they're going to go that route, because I think a lot of the fan theories were like really elaborate and started to get really grand. And I think they're starting to see it's kind of a more simpler, sort of grounded storyline, which like the whole Agatha thing was kind of the first theory that came out. And so for it to be so obvious early on, I was really hoping it was going to be, you know, false, or it would be something different. I'm not disappointed that it is Agatha.
So you're saying it was like too predictable in a sense, or?
I think, fans saw it coming too early on. And I don't think the writers wanted that to be the case. So maybe not calling her Agatha, not calling her Agnes would have helped a little bit. because that was kind of a dead giveaway. And
Yeah.
but
I
they
still
tried to misdirect us all the time. She pretended to be part of the script and lost in Westview and under Wanda's spell. They really tried hard to do so. So I
Mhm.
think it was great that they went that route. But yeah, don't call her Agnes. Give her something else. And I think fans would have at least taken a little bit longer to come across or
Yeah.
to come out with that reveal.
Yeah, I'm still on the camp that it's not just Agnes. I'm still gonna hold on to it probably until it doesn't happen.
Mhm.
I always knew that she was likely going to be Agatha, partly because of the name, and then I think starting, I forget exactly which episode, but she started wearing the necklace that she has in the comic books. So it started like Ted said, like it started getting really obvious, and I mean, just the name itself from the get go kind of pointed me in that direction. Um, and that's why, like on all of the episodes, I've kind of said like, hey, she went off script, so I'm a little confused, but I'm also thinking she's just going with it. And then last episode, when Vision just kind of woke her up from the state that she was in, I called it. Like I said, like, nah, that's BS. Like I think she's still part of it, and that part was right. But I still don't think she's the whole picture.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
I do like the Nexus thing that Ted commented. I also
Good.
think that it still seems like all of the episodes still have some sort of tie to the stones.
Yeah.
I didn't mention it last week, but last week I know that. Sorry, last week I know that I explained what the metaphor behind it was and how the kid might have been Tommy or Billy, I forget which one, but also like I was thinking how the kid turned into a skull. Like it could also kind of reminds me of the Soul Stone, which hadn't been covered yet.
Yeah.
How you kind of almost have to trade something off, and then of course Red Skull was the protector of that stone.
Yeah.
And the sun kind of looked like the Soul Stone, but maybe I'm reaching. But I do think even this Nexus one, thinking of the Reality Stone, like you said, which I don't think had been covered.
Yeah.
Plus the Nexus metaphor as to how you're in a different reality, or reality can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then even talking about things like depression, right? Like one of those things that once again it seems like Wanda is dealing with.
Exactly.
And the commercial gave us a lot of info. Like if you take this, you may still experience all of these side effects.
Mhm.
So it seems like Wanda may be impacted by a lot of this, and so
Yeah.
I do think the Nexus is going to play a big role. I think Agatha is indeed the person that's been causing the things that the show said.
Yeah.
I just don't think she's still. I still don't think she's calling the shots.
Yeah.
If by next episode there's no indication of that, though, I do think it's beyond the point of no return, where it's just
I
Agatha.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you too, Lex. I feel like this show is really I feel like this ain't the big hitter. I feel like this is the medium hitter. I feel like this is gonna be not as big as we almost to a sense. I mean, we all want Doctor Strange to come out of a portal, right? We all want him to come out and to try to save her in a sense, and to just really, we want that. And I feel like we might get either that, or we might get something even bigger to where it leads up to the multiverse, because we've said it so many times. She is confirmed to be in Doctor Strange multiverse. So to know that for a fact, I mean, let's just say this is the last time we're going to see Wanda, besides Doctor Strange, of course. I would say this is really going to shape up the form of the next time we're going to see her, the season finale. Because I know we talked about it. It's not renewed. This is a limited series, right? Correct. So it's only season 1, right? So we're doing 9 episodes, right? So it's a limited series, right?
I don't think they've confirmed if there is more seasons or not.
Yeah. So, it really shapes down to where is this really gonna where are we gonna leave Wanda in the because we only got 2 episodes left, guys. This is crazy. We got 2 episodes left. I remember when we first did this, it was like we still got a whole season, and now that we've gotten all these episodes, it's just like I feel like I don't think she's a big hitter, man. And now, so just to clarify real quick on the X-Men thing, that's not so it's not leading up to X-Men, right? Or is it?
Well, in what sense?
Okay, exactly right. That's what I'm trying to be. So like,
I've been telling y'all, like, they're not gonna drop.
Okay,
X
okay.
word.
He knows what I'm saying. So like,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah. So I want them to say mutants before this season ends, obviously, but I kind of feel like we're not leaning towards that anymore, just because of this episode. But also too is that the Quicksilver that we saw, we know that Agatha put him there, obviously, but does that really show that? Because does that mean that she's from that X-Men Fox universe, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
don't think so.
it's a reason that makes sense. And when
Yeah.
you're dealing with Marvel movies, not Star Wars, but you're dealing with Marvel movies, you have to come out with a reasoning that makes sense, that's logical. So the only thing I can conjure up right now is that Agatha doesn't know what Wanda's brother looks like in the MCU.
Exactly. Yes.
But she knows what he looks like in this universe. So
So she has to be from that universe.
that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that she's crossed over to this dimension. This Wanda is clearly an extremely powerful one. What's her end game? That's what's going to be the question, because we know she's. Listen, I know you guys are thinking like there's another big, huge reveal, like somebody's kind of been the big bad this whole time, but you got to just. I'm not saying you're wrong, but if we just look at the facts, like Agatha got a theme song where it says it was her the whole time.
Yeah.
Like Marvel's not going to write a theme song telling you what they want you to see and want you to know if it's not going to be like 90% true. Mm-hmm. Does Agatha have people that she works with, like known other villains for sure? Mm-hmm. And we probably might get a name drop. We saw the book, like Mephisto on the columns in her basement. So I think that's all good and fun. Yeah. But I do think this is Agatha's plan.
I feel like
she's trying to gain something. No, it's fine. She's trying to gain something. Yeah. I don't know if it's the twins. I don't know if it's Wanda's powers. I can't tell you what it is right now.
Yeah, but of course.
We're going to find that out pretty soon. Definitely.
I feel like she's really. I feel like it's almost like the same situation we had with the first Marvel movie, the first Avengers movie, was that Loki comes, but he's working for Thanos in the very end. That's the whole thing. I feel like she could be working for Mephisto. You know what I'm saying? And so like I'll be okay with that as long as it leads up to, as long as it leads up to saying it in some way or form that we say, hey, Mephisto's part of this, the whole, like he's doing it, but she's drawing power from Mephisto. Or some ethnicity to where it's like some kind of connection to where like she's really where she's connected to Mephisto, and like he's the one that's he's the powerful one and she's just doing his bidding, I guess, so to speak.
That's actually what I'm
down
thinking.
for that. Yeah, I'm down for that.
I don't know if Mephisto's going to show up in the
it would that would be a huge. That would make Marvel have really big balls. I'll say that. Really big balls.
I want that. But even if she's working for, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. I don't think she's the ultimately person. Like, she might be the executor, but she's not the. I don't know if it was her plan, but we'll find out shortly enough. Yeah. I do like what Catherine. I think her name's Catherine Hahn.
Hahn, yeah.
Has been doing with the character. I really like it. Much like Wanda and Vision himself, she's played different roles, right? And so I really like the range that she's throwing here. And I still don't think it's a Quicksilver that we were known for. I do like the theory that perhaps she herself is from another dimension or something like that. I just don't know if she's coming from the Fox Marvel, just because Fox Marvel also never really touched into magic. And not that it wouldn't exist, but I don't know. There's a lot of concepts that Marvel can possibly introduce here. And I'm just interested. But I think ultimately the Pietro character, I think it's all going to lead back to the multiverse. I just don't know. I still don't think that he happens to be the Fox Marvel one. I think that's just a decoy from Marvel using the same actor but it's a purposeful decoy to let us understand the multiverse.
So it's a decoy, but it's not a decoy.
Yeah, it's a decoy to us, the audience, but I don't think it's the I don't think it's the decoy we think, just because the face matches the Quicksilver from the Fox universe.
Yeah, and of course we know Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You know that movie's coming out 2022. So again, it just needs to leave us on a high note. It needs to leave us. I feel like these next 2 episodes, Wanda needs to come in big. Like, we need to see her really to where us, like, it's gonna be a nail biter. It's gonna be where, like, it's gonna leave our jaws wide open. Like, what the?
I want Doctor Strange. Yeah, I want Doctor Strange to show up. I don't want him to save the day. I kind of want that to be like Wanda's story for sure, because it'd be almost like a cop out. But I do want them to plant that seed. If indeed the next time we see these characters are going to be in that movie, I think Doctor Strange should at least be mentioned. I think he definitely has a possibility to come out. I know I was hoping for the Reed Richards thing. Real quick, I don't ever think she addressed the soldier as being her contact, though, because I thought it
did. I thought it did. I could have sworn
I don't think she said hi and she recognized it and she was happy, but she had said, like, I have a guy, like, specifically like a male. I don't know. Perhaps I'm reading too much into it, but once again, I never saw the soldier address herself as the person that put this whole together. Right? She has a team. Monica told her, like, I appreciate your loyalty, and she said, "You're not the only you're not the only people we're loyal to," or something like that. Perhaps I'm reading too much into it, but
I mean, you could be right. I mean, we could
think Reed Richards is involved, but I'm abandoning the, like, they're gonna show. I'm abandoning that boat. That was probably too ambitious. I do think perhaps we could get a reveal towards the end that, like, oh yeah, this was, Reed Richards' team or something, like, even just a name drop, just because the spacesuit that they used, it had sword logos all over the place. But even the final like undersuit that Monica has, though it's meant to look like her original costume, it also gave me, like, low-key Fantastic Four vibes.
Yeah.
At least from the aesthetic standpoint, where it's
the origins. You talking about the origins, like when they're in space.
And I'm interested to that line of what the soldier said, as far as you're not the only people we're loyal to, or something like that. I wonder what that means.
Yeah. I would not be surprised that Reed Richards actually works for SWORD all along. I would not be surprised about that whatsoever. To a sense to where, I kind of feel like that, Disney they really take the fans into accountable. Let's be honest here. I mean, they care about their fans a lot, to a sense to where, like, they care about their reactions to certain things. We've seen this in the past, like I'll mention it over and over again. The Boba Fett movie that got canceled because no one wanted a Boba Fett movie. For whatever, the majority audience were just like, what the heck, why are you making a Boba Fett movie? Because they wanted a TV show, which they got, in the very end. That's what they got. They're getting a TV show on Disney Plus series. So furthermore into this, I was, I'm just like, I kind of feel like it's going to be John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, because for one, Emily Blunt she's a previous Disney employee. She was Mary Poppins. I mean, she's known to be in Disney movies. So, I mean, I feel like John is just, he's over there on Amazon, doing his own TV show over there. I feel like he's not, I feel like he would do it, in a heartbeat, I would say, into a sense to where with him and his wife, I kind of feel like they are going to be a part of it one of these days. But I don't think it's going to be on WandaVision, because it's too big of a name. And even that, it's too big of a name in general for the Marvel Universe to put Reed Richards in just for the last episode or one episode, like, I just feel like we're not going to see it in this series. Maybe we'll get it obviously in the movie when they start announcing cast and all that, but I don't know. I mean, we could get it, but it's just going to be it's very slim right now, because we got last 2 episodes here. And I feel like they don't want to give any screen time towards them and put it towards Wanda, really.
I'm not gonna say it's impossible that there's like the engineer ends up being somebody else, but if Monica's only line that kind of leads me to believe there's not going to be an engineer reveal is she said, "I just got to meet my guy on the ridge," and it sounds like she's referring to a male, but my guy is also like my contact in a way, and
Yeah.
General terminology.
if she goes to the ridge that she said and nobody else is there but these soldiers, then I kind of feel like I think that's all we're getting. Why wouldn't her contact be there when she said he was going to be there? So I think it's weird. It's weird
It's
is
a
what I'm
missed
saying.
opportunity to put focus on it and not pay it off.
It's a general terminology. Let's be honest. There, it really is. It's a general terminology. When you say my guy and all, or the guy, or it just I don't know. I feel like it depending on what type of context and what type of form you're using it in the sentence and all that. Obviously, that changes the game. And again, it just Ted could be right. I mean, we could be looking more deeper into this what it is. But we really didn't get too much of to where like, is this for sure? It's like Marvel didn't want to give us the full disclosure of that. It just, I just felt like, I don't know. They did not want to give us that disclosure for whatever reason, but
it's weird they spend episode and a half or almost 2 episodes waiting to make that reveal, or even build it up. Tiana Paris even said something along the lines of, I can't wait for you guys to meet the engineer. And is it because the engineer was supposed to be someone we know from the comics, or just because she was excited for that scene to come up and for that transition for her going through the perimeter of the hex, So like a lot of fans, the problem is we're interviewing these cast members way too much. They're getting interviews each week after every episode, and we're hanging on every single syllable that they're saying, and it's unnecessary. The show is already good without us trying to build new theories each and every single day. So maybe she's just saying, or in that interview, just referring to the scene that follows her going through the perimeter, her going through the outside of the hex and coming out with what seemingly is abilities for herself. I think that's just what she's referring to the interview. I don't think there's anybody else coming from the engineer standpoint, because we're supposed to meet them already, and it's already been a couple of episodes since they kind of teased it. So
it led us to believe it was going to be Reed Richards so much. And going to the comments, Renato Garcia the third even says, like, why take 3 episodes talking about them if it's not important though? So I mean, I agree there. I mean, just why? I mean, you mentioned it already, Ted. Why take that build up? Like why take that build up and really, I don't want to say dream crusher, but just really crush it, like crush our dreams, man. Because I mean, they know they're monitoring the fans, and that's the thing about Disney and everything. It's just they really monitor, like they really care about people's reactions to their content. And they take everything into initiative, be like, oh, okay, that they like this, but they didn't like this. They really take that, and then they really take that as constructive criticism. They put that up to the next content, which we're going to see, which is the Falcon and Winter Soldier coming up in about a month from now.
And I'm not arguing with them at all. I'm only saying, like, the things that Marvel's already given us.
Yeah.
Saying that my guy's on the ridge, my contact's on the ridge. We just got to go up to the ridge and see them, meet them face to face. And we're already past that point now. Yeah. Contact's gone. Yeah. What? So you had that reveal opportunity, but I think the focus instead is supposed to be on Monica for good reason. Her transition into a person with abilities, I think, is what Marvel wants to focus on. Yeah. So I think it's fans hanging on to some lines a little bit too much. I said this the last time on this show. There's things you commit to build your logical fan theories, and then there's things you have to purposely throw aside because Marvel threw misdirection in every single episode. The first intro has the helmet of the Grim Reaper in the animation. It's like they threw that in there just for misdirection, so we can sit around and talk about it on podcasts. Going, what if it's Green Reaper?
Yeah, exactly. I just feel like that they do that because their Pixar stuff does that. Like you see some stuff from the Pixar movies, some type of connection, Easter eggs there, but it's not really a connected universe as we assume this is, because it's totally different. But I don't know. I'm getting to a sense to where like they put those little Easter eggs just like Pixar does, like the ball, there's just like certain things, a lamp in certain movies, just I feel like they do it on purpose. So that way it's like, oh, it's just an Easter egg, but it's nothing more, but just like acknowledging that, we put something hidden and a hidden item in there, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like they're doing that, but obviously it really misdirected us into thinking like it was going to be. So it just, a lot of misdirection there, I would say. Hinato Garcia, he also says, I heard rumor was that it could have been Beast since he did not work for Sword in the comics. Beast, okay.
He said he did work for Sword in the comics.
Yeah.
I would have been interested too.
Because he did work. Yeah, okay.
I forget his name. Hank what? Hank something?
Hank Pym? No, Hank Pym. That's freaking Ant-Man. I'm thinking Ant-Man. That's funny.
Hank McLeod? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
I'm probably saying that wrong.
It just, as far as just says Hank. I'm pretty sure we could find it on the actual comics website and everything. But yeah, as far as I was looking at the cast for X-Men Days of Future Past, it just has him as Hank/Beast. So
that would have been cool. Just something, not like
McCoy. Hank McCoy.
Hank McCoy. Okay, there you go. I think you were right. What'd you say?
I said I said McLeod, but it's McCoy.
Close enough.
You got one letter off.
All right.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm excited too. I have a feeling that next episode for sure they're gonna reveal at least like 90% of the curtain that of what's left, right? Like they already have revealed some big things, but I think for sure we have one episode of full-on reveal. And then the last episode is probably going to be either a battle or just culmination of the events, plus setting up what's next. So, if it follows the format that most shows follow towards the end of the season, we should at least, once again, know most of the stuff by next week.
For sure. I'm excited to see what the last two episodes consider to be the big hitters. We were wrong though. I think we said, or somebody said on the show last time that they're going to be an hour long. I think you already.
I think JC mentioned that. I think he said the last three had been confirmed as that, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah, those were unconfirmed reports from I think a single source.
Oh, okay.
And so I think what they actually came out with is they're going to be around 35 minutes. Each, but like when you add in the mid-credit scene and the Disney Plus credits are already like 10 minutes long to begin with, it kind of extends it a little bit. But
so the longest episode for now is going to be episode 5, which is on that very special episode, which is 41 minutes right now. That's going to be the longest episode so far, including all the end credit scene and all that. But let's go ahead and mention that end credit scene real quick. We saw Quicksilver now, and we know that Agatha's controlling Quicksilver. So, is Monica really? Is she there? Do y'all think she's going to be enough to save Wanda?
I think she has to be, and I don't think that Quicksilver is fully controlled by Agatha at this point.
Okay.
I think everybody sort of has a certain level of free will. Even Vision, even Wanda has a certain level of free will, but we keep seeing Wanda getting kind of pulled back and lost into the fantasy of it all. Yeah. And my thought is the mid-credit scene is another one of those misdirections where we see Monica going up to Agatha's house, about to walk in. Quicksilver spots her, and we're meant to think like, oh, the spell's doomed for Monica, but I think on a certain level, Quicksilver is still, it's like he's the body or the soul of the MCU Quicksilver. but he just doesn't have the appearance. I strongly believe that. So I think he's kind of being pushed into situations. Wanda, she does control the hex. Wanda does control people's minds. She does use her own energy, but she's the puppet of Agatha. Yeah. So, that's what I think. It's misdirection. I think the two of them, Monica and Pietro, are going to sort of try and figure out a way to help Wanda going forward. What I'm worried about is the twins, because there's a bunch of fan theories or speculation, and I don't want to say them out loud because they're just too horrible. So we'll see what happens.
You go ahead and say them real quick.
No, sir.
No, they die or what? What happened?
Go check out Wikipedia after this and see what it says.
I've heard certain things, of course. Of course, the splitting of the soul, Mephisto and the kids. I've heard of that. All we can do is speculate right now. Is obviously I really like this episode. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I really
great
do
episode.
Like
it's great.
Yeah, really good episode. Again, though, this is what's gonna change the formality, because as soon as we give our ratings of each episode, we like to give the ratings of season 1, which is funny because sometimes we rate it per episode, right, as an individual, and then we go into season 1 where we mention it as a whole. Is this really a good season as a whole? As a general thing, and so we're gonna go in depth on that. When obviously after the last episode, which I kind of want to do a reaction to. Maybe we'll do reaction. Maybe we'll get copyrighted. I think we could try to do it. I figured out like it's under 30 seconds. So I'm gonna have to really cut it for cut scenes at 30 seconds and boom, cut it another 30 seconds. And then, but it just, I really want the last 2 episodes to be really good. I mean, I want them to be at least 45 minutes, man. Come on. It was a 45-minute episode at least. But you never know. I mean, nothing's really confirmed at this point. But just last 2 episodes, I can't wait to see where we leave off Wanda, because we're not going to see her for another year, pretty much a little over a year. And I want her at a better place, or at a jaw-dropping place, so to speak. But yeah. All right, guys. Any final thoughts you want to say, Ted, Lex? Any final thoughts?
You first, Lex.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. I really like the show a lot more than I thought I did, even though I was one of the people giving it a chance from the get-go, trusting Marvel, trusting Disney. I know at first it was, I don't even want to, I had a lot of fun in the first 3 episodes, but for some, once again, they were criticizing, they didn't like the sitcom format. I did from the get-go. I enjoyed it. I was having a lot of fun. Now it's getting darker for sure, but overall, I think it's, I've described this before, but not in the same fashion. But it's been watching this show has been like unboxing or unwrapping a gift, very, very slowly, but a good gift. And you're starting to see more of what's inside, and you get excited. So
I just don't want to be let down, brother. If the next episode,
no one does.
Be like, what the hell? But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I completely agree there. Just it could go either way. It could go up or down. That's the whole point of this. But yeah, that's it.
I don't think there's any chance that it could go down. I think that one of the consistent things about this show is that every episode has gotten gradually better every single time. And I'm not even saying the first one was the absolute worst, it was bad.
Yeah.
I've appreciated Marvel being bold and trying something new and different after 10 or almost 11 years of superhero movies and some TV shows by Marvel TV. But no, this has been an incredible series so far, and I tip my hat off to the writers for trying something very risky. And I will say that I thought Wanda was going to be our kind of almost villain type the entire time until they revealed it halfway through. Then I said, well, it's got to be something different now, because it can't be Wanda with half the season to go. Yeah. But there's still 2 episodes left, and there's a lot of story to tell. So it is very exciting.
Closure.
It is very interesting.
Yeah.
And fans are now fully aware that like anything is possible right now with this TV show. So expect the unexpected, and I hope there's a happy ending at the end of this. But it just seems like we're
Yeah.
in for a very bittersweet finale.
Yeah, going into this, I still know people that do not like the show. Again, but this is coming from people that love action sequences and love everything action. Obviously, this is not the case because it's totally different. It's a totally different risk. We've mentioned it countless times. That word, that's a good word to use for this series, is that this is a really risk taker because it's just a whole different genre that they're really going for. I was really surprised how we saw so much character development with Agatha, and we saw so much character development of just how really I know you said it was for some reason, I don't know why. I know, Ted, you said it was predictable to see her. I don't know why, I just didn't want to believe it. So like I didn't think it was predictable. But again, that's just me being stubborn in my own way. But this is actually going to shape up to where I really hope that we see Wanda even just figuring out what she really like. Because again, I mentioned already, this is the last time we're going to see her. Like this, you need to leave us on a high note, because this is really going to shape her character, her hero itself. Her actual character. Until we see and then also like where's Vision gonna be at? Is Vision even gonna stay alive after this? Is Vision gonna be dead after this? Like it just leaves us with those so many questions of like, where's Vision gonna be in all this? Is she gonna go into another multiverse where Vision's alive? Is she, it's just like so many questions here to where like, is Vision really gonna survive this all around? Is he really gonna survive? And I want him to, I really do. And yeah, I'll just say like, I really am hoping a high note for these last 2 episodes, and hopefully they do not do poor writing or anything like that. Because again, I've seen series where they just last, the finales are just crap. But I mean, I'm not saying this is the case whatsoever, because this is obviously, I've been giving it pretty good ratings, and I just hope for the better for this series, man. And because we're a month away from the Winter Soldier coming out, so the series, which I'm not too excited about. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not excited for it. Lex, are you excited for the Winter Soldier?
I'm halfway there. I haven't seen anything extremely. I haven't seen anything from the trailers that's like a must see. I like the actors. I like the actors, and I trust Marvel and Disney. So it's just on the surface.
I'm sorry.
I have been wrong before, but at least on the surface, from what they've delivered to us, it's not something where I'm just like counting down the days. I'm still gonna watch it day one. Yeah, I'm still gonna watch it day one. They also haven't shown me something that makes me not want to tune in, but it's just, once again, that's why I feel like I'm halfway there. With WandaVision, I was just compelled from just the concept of it.
Yes.
And so
I was day one because I wanted to hit that emotional aspect, that emotional level that I love of just movies, TV shows in general. I just wanted to hit that grieving point, and I love that about it because it really shows them going through this, going through it as human beings in this world. So I love that about it. That's why I love that deep connection, because you make that connection as we all do as human beings, as far as the emotional aspect. Comedy is good and everything. I'm just very picky with comedy, but drama, I love drama. I love action. I call it action dialogue, where it's just words, no action sequences, just action dialogue. I love to call that. So, but yeah. All right, guys. I guess we'll end this episode. We'll see you in about a week from now. Ted, hopefully we can get you back on, brother, next week, so we could see if we were right, wrong. I'm pretty sure we've been 80% right, maybe 100% right. But I'm pretty sure it's a high ranking because we've been knocking them out. We've been saying the right stuff so far. And some obviously some theories have been a little wrong because they've been a little overboard, but we knew that from the get-go. But yeah. All right, Ted, where people can find you at, brother?
Countdown to the Geekcast on Facebook, everywhere on social media. Also at www.countdowncitygeekcast.com. We're doing our WandaVision breakdown series right now. We also talk about the headlines of every week, and we all know JC from being on this show. He does our wrestling review show. It's a weekly series that we do on YouTube, so you can also find that show on YouTube at Countdown City Geeks.
Yeah, Lex, where can people find you at, brother?
You guys can find me over at the Lex Level on Twitch, and also as well at the Not in Theaters podcast, available everywhere. Feel free to check us out and appreciate any type of support.
Yeah, I just love networking, guys. If you have not already, be sure to hit that subscribe button on Alamo City Movie Talk. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you love reality shows, Island of Reality, look us up on Twitter. It's going to be ISLE of Reality, guys. You want to check us out. We're talking about reality shows. We're talking about drama. We're talking about booty shaking, juiciness. We're talking about that good old booty in your face. That's what we're talking about, guys. We're talking about it, and it's going to be on Island of Reality podcast, wherever a podcast could be found, guys. So
you're talking about JC's booty, though, just so we're clear. JC's booty in your face.
No, we're not. All right. We're gonna see if you really will get tempted on that show. But yeah, guys. All right, let's get right to it. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe, stay warm, and wear your mask, guys. Have a good one. Check y'all later.
Bye, guys.